Yo! It's been a while, huh? I've been keeping busy. Finally finished Yakuza 0. Finally. Been relapsing back into a League addiction. Unfortunately, because of that, I'm kinda struggling in the capital department a little bit. So I have to delay the heavy arms video until the next battle pass comes. And then I have to grind for capital when the battle pass comes, so thanks Bandai. Very cool. Anyway, before the funny dopamine line goes down even further, this is a perfect opportunity to finally make a tier list, because I've been meaning to make one for a while now. So here it is, I suppose. Before we start though, I'd like to make it clear I will not be going into it judging by strength alone. I'll also be judging on how fun they are, and in case I haven't played the suit, like, keep in mind I've only bought Mew, Hyperion, and Mahiru, so the other ones will have to be based on how I feel when I fight them. So anyway, let us begin. First up is Pale, the Call of Duty suit. I think I'll put him in A tier. If I was going on strength alone, Pale is pretty strong. Probably put him at S tier, but again, he's the Call of Duty suit. He's like Soldier from Overwatch. All these like interesting characters, and you pick the one that's really basic. So because of that, I think I will knock him down a tier. Still pretty good. High damage. Basically, that's all his kit is, except for his E that I can never seem to use properly. It's all just damage and making him deal as much damage as possible. That can either be really cool or really boring. So he's A tier. I think it's pretty solid, but he's not very interesting. Next up is RX-78. Now, I think he is a solid S tier. I really like RX-78. I think he has one of the most versatile kits. He has one of the highest skill expressions in the game, while also having a very low skill floor. You know, he has his hammer, he has the massive area denial with his ult, even though it has like the HP of a wet paper towel. I think RX-71 is one of, if not the best suits to pick in like any situation. So I think he is a solid S tier suit. Zaku R. I've been enjoying Zaku R recently, but more of as like a for fun suit. When you play him like actually, I think that's his main selling point, that he gives a lot of pressure to deals a lot of pressure.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Because of his high damage and then his ability to escape. To be honest, would I put him in the same leagues as these two? I don't think so. Zaku R is fun and you can get a lot of mileage when you play him correctly, but I think he's solid B tier. Maybe high B, I think, in comparison to everyone else. Next up is Barbie. How I feel about Barbie I play him for fun. I don't really play him like, if you ask me to sweat, I'll probably play someone else like Turn A. Really like Turn A or RX-78. I feel very indifferent. Unless, of course, it's, you know, it's the Wi-Fi Barbie that desyncs and hits you from 35 miles away. I think he's also in B tier. People like to say how OP Barb is. Not really. You can hear him coming from a mile away because of the charge in his hammer. So he has a lot of counterplay, and if you get caught by Barb, I think that's your problem, I suppose. So I think he's B tier. Next is Sazabi. I have not played a lot of Saz recently, but I still think he's a pretty good suit, and he can either go in high B or maybe low A. I think it's low A, actually. He has a funny axe minigame, a lot of pressure from his ultimate, deceptively high mobility from his E, and just like the massive 2800 effective health pool. I think Sazabi is a very solid suit. Methus, the support character. That's not really a support, doesn't feel like it. I think that's one thing that Bandai does really well, is that every suit is technically as strong as each other. In some games like Overwatch, for example, like Mercy is kind of just a support. You can play him DPS, but it's kind of like a troll pick. Good thing about Evo is that you could pick Methus, who's a quote-unquote support suit, and still do pretty good at like fighting people. So, but do I play Methus a lot? Not really. I don't really think Methus is a good... Well, he's fine, I suppose, but for me personally, I don't like playing Methus. I'd rather play someone else. I think I'll put Methus in C tier. I think that's fair. maybe B tier. No, I think C tier. C tier. Alright, I might be pissing off a few people here when I say that GM Sniper is D tier. I think GM Sniper is absolute dog doo-doo trash. GM is not that good. It's like, if I get a GM in my team, I would much rather they play like anyone else. Like even New, and I don't think New is very good either. I think he's also... Actually no, I won't spoil that. GM Sniper's kit is very centered around his main shtick, which is one-shotting people with headshots. Any other function aside from that is kinda not very good for GM. Like, if you get close range with him, he's helpless. Absolutely helpless. He has this little Gatling gun that's more of like... it's placebo. His ultimate is also kind of... it's a wall hack, I suppose, but Sazabi also does the same thing with his sensor, and it's not tied to an ultimate ability. So I think GM is rightfully in D tier. Like, if there was a fight, I would rather have another body in the fight than have GM Sniper pick off people from 35 miles away. There aren't really a lot of long sight lines in maps either, aside from like the mountain map, I suppose. So GM doesn't have that much room to play with. So I think he's D tier. Now we go on to Ass. I used to not like Ass, actually, but they have been tuning him a lot. Like, his primary fire rate has been increased, I think. Like, it's a lot faster now. And I think that's a very good change. Also, his napalm was really hard to balance, apparently. They increased the damage, and he gets like his G maneuver every 30 seconds, so it's kind of funny. But I think Ass is in a very good spot right now, so I think I'll put him in A tier. Low. Maybe higher than Sazabi. Dom Trooper. I don't really like Dom Trooper. I don't like playing him. Fighting him is fine, I suppose. I know Dom is very, very meta right now. I don't like playing Dom. I don't think he's D tier. He's still pretty good. The ultimate is like very, very good. I think he's going in C tier. Maybe high C tier because of how many people play him. He's good, but personally I just don't like playing Dom. I think he's... I don't know, maybe it's his fucking slip and slide boots that... I don't know, he's C tier. Turn A. Now, I might be biased, but I'm still correct. And that's saying Turn A is S tier. Turn A is S tier. Like, how do people not think Turn A is S tier? His long range and his charge shots. Of course you have to take into account the travel time, but it's a skill issue. He can handle long range, he can handle short range with his non-charge shots and his toss. He has sustain and his nano skin. He has very, very good killing potential with his ultimate. I'm not sure, again, I don't watch other tier list videos, but when I was first playing Evo, I saw people put Turn A in like the lowest tier. Turn A is so good. He's a better GM Sniper. GM, when he's cornered, he can't do anything. Turn A can. He also exerts a lot of pressure just by existing because the enemy doesn't know whether you used your toss or not, so it's like this mind game. So I think Turn A is not only fun, but he's also very strong if you know how to play him. Like me. I love Turn A. He goes in S tier, maybe even higher than 78, because I just really, really love Turn A. Gun Tank is... he's fine. People get a lot of funny damage numbers on him. You leave him in a corner and you just ask him to hold LMB and then he deals like 2000 damage. So I think Turn A is high A, maybe higher because he's the boy. GM is... I don't feel anything when I play GM. If I want to play a shield character, I just play Hyperion. Or before Hyperion, I just play Saz. I think GM is very good in the right hands. Unfortunately, my hands are not the right hands. He has team heal potential in his grenade, he has area denial, he has tankiness. He's a good all-around unit, but I think he does have a fairly high skill floor since you have to play around his range a lot. Because his pistol is very close range, and you also have to play around his C4 as like his main... He plays a lot like Gun Tank, where Gun Tank's main damage is his rockets, and his Bop missiles are more like the finisher. And I think that's how you're supposed to play GM as well. Maybe I'm wrong, and maybe that's why he's in B tier. Maybe higher than Barbie. I think he brings more to the table than Barbie does. Now it's Exia. I mean, funnily enough, the more I play Evo, the more I think Exia is not that big a deal. Exia does not have that high a health pool. So I kind of just shoot Exia a bit and then he just like fucks off. So I think Exia is not that bad anymore. Exia he is annoying as hell to deal with, but I think if you're good enough, it's a skill issue, what can I say? I think he's not that bad. Maybe high C, low B. Like in terms of fighting Exia, I think he's high C. He's not that bad, but he's still kind of annoying. Actually, maybe low B. I haven't played Exia, but again, it's like a balance between squishiness and damage. So I guess Exia is alright. Yeah, Exia is fine. Marasai. Marasai is also fine. I think I'm gonna say a suit is fine a lot, because to be honest they are. Again, Bandai does really well in balancing their characters. So Marasai is fine. His main killing potential is all loaded into his hook, so if he misses that, he's kind of not very good for, I don't know the cooldown, I think it's 8 seconds. So I think he's balanced as an enemy. He is kind of annoying though, I will admit, because you get hooked and you're like, oh man, I got hooked, guess I'm dead. So I think he's also in B tier. I think B tier is the tier where I don't feel a lot of things when fighting them. B tier is maybe the tier that I don't feel much about these characters. Mahiru also goes in B tier. I don't play Mahiru that much, because I don't know where the bounces in his grenades lead to. So I think he's B tier, but I have seen Mahiru players do a really good job at playing him, like denying a lot of space in his grenades while staying like as far back as possible. So I think Mahiru's actually, I think he's higher than... I hope you don't hear my cat. Shut up! Anyway, I think Mahiru is a solid B tier, I guess. I think Zakuar is lower than GM. He's along the lines of these three, because they bring nothing to the table but damage. That's not a bad thing, but you know, so Mahiru goes there. Zaku M, I think, is more annoying to fight than Exia, because Exia is like 800 HP, and his only way of surviving is escaping with his like 6 million dashes, right? Zaku M has like his Moai stance, he has a shield that's like larger than his actual health pool, he has very high 1v1 potential because he just sticks onto you with guard tackle and 2 dashes. I actually think Zaku M, in terms of how annoying they are to fight, is much worse than Exia, just because of that health pool. So I think he's C tier. I do not like fighting against Zaku R, and his ultimate, once you get hit by it, goodbye. So he's in C tier. I don't like playing against Zaku M. It's kind of overloaded. Unicorn and Mew look the same. Anyway, Unicorn, I'm never disappointed when I have a Unicorn on my team. Again, I've never played Unicorn. He has deceptively high damage if he lands his shots, but he has to play around his team a lot, which I think is what balances him, because if Unicorn is like alone, he's just worse pale, I guess. So in terms of how good he is, I'd put him in A tier. I think Unicorn is very good. I think healing is, even if it's in small amounts like a regen, I think healing is still very welcome in any team. So I think Unicorn's pretty good. I think he's A tier. New Gundam. This is the only suit that I've complained about on YouTube. So if you would ask me where I'd put New back then, I'd probably put him in D tier. I don't think New is pretty good. Actually, even now I don't think New is pretty good. Actually, I'd probably still put him in D tier. No, I think he's C tier. When I play New, he's kind of bland, and his funnels don't really do much. People say, oh, but his funnels create lots of pressure from long ranges. Yeah, but everyone else does as well. And it's not like RNG pressure that because New can actually miss every single funnel shot. And you have to shoot them like 4 times before it even poses an actual threat. So I think New is not that good. I think he needs a buff or a rework. But I think he's still getting nerfed. Maybe it's because I can't land my shots very well. That could be a very plausible explanation. But I think he's actually C tier. Hyperion, I actually really like Hyperion. I have made a video on him, like the most recent one, the Toyota Corolla man himself. I think Hyperion is actually S tier. Maybe high, no, I think he's S tier. He has high damage. His magazine size was nerfed, but it didn't really do much. I think it's his magazine size, maybe it's his damage, I don't really remember. His ultimate is like funny. That's it, that's what makes it good, it's funny. So I think Hyperion is S tier. If it's strength alone, it's probably A tier, maybe on the lines of Sazabi. But I actually really like Hyperion. I think more people should play Hyperion. His E is also really strong in taking objectives or just rezzing people. You can res them in front of enemies. So I think that's funny. Heavy arms, I've actually not seen a lot of heavy arms players. Maybe it's because they're also struggling with capital. But the heavy arms players I do fight, I think heavy arms is kind of mid. People would compare him to gun tank because his guns overheat, but I think he's more akin to Pale or S. I think he's B tier. Yeah, I think he's B tier. He's fine, I guess. I don't really see him a lot, so I don't have that much to go off of. So I think heavy arms is good as B tier. When I eventually do play him, maybe this can change. Maybe he'll go to A tier or something. So yeah, that is the tier list.
What the fuck is this piece of shit?
With, of course, my boy Turn A at the top, and GM rightfully at D tier. It is a federal offense if you play GM Sniper. If I see you play GM Sniper, I am calling the police. Anyway, that's the tier list. If you disagree, you're wrong, but you're free to type something in the comments anyway. Also, the new suit, if you're wondering about my opinion on it, it's GM Sniper but like better, because he's not absolutely helpless close range. So I think if I have the capital for it, maybe Bandai gets an event when the new Battle Pass drops. Please Bandai, please man. I will play Sniper. The new one at least. I forgot their name. I think it's sick. I forgot. Anyway, that's the tier list. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. See you.
Yo, bro, come over here, check out my new shoes. They're the brand new 1, 2, buckle my shoe, 3, 4, buckle some more, 5, 6, Nike kicks. Woohoo! That is so fire!